Hello everybody and welcome to Dota Learn Dota 2 League scrims for data tracking.
Yeah, we're casting scrims.
That's a
Great.
lie. This is season 13, week 7, final week of the
Last
group
week, yeah.
stage. We're
And
taking a look.
two playoff teams
Yep. Spoilers. We're taking a look at
battling for
PMA.
position.
Birds are real. I believe PMA was already a lock when they
Maybe. I don't think either of them have 8. I think they're both at 7 wins.
Alright, well if they won't won then they're in good hands. PMA first ban in that Chaos Knight. Birds aren't real, first ban in that Storm Spirit.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant
Getting rid of the Grimstroke, getting rid of the Brewmaster. Very interesting. I think the Brewmaster has got to be just like an I don't want to see this guy. Like, not an I don't want to see this guy. I think it isn't an I want to see this guy. I don't think you ban Brewmaster for no reason.
It's coming back into the meta again, so...
It is, on one hand, it is coming back into the meta again. On the other hand, the last time we saw Healy's on it, he just kind of had like a meh performance in what should have been a pretty baller game for him, I think.
People kind of revolve around the Cinder Brew and the ult.
Right.
The ult especially is a super big timing for Brew. You just fight around that. You usually do pretty well.
Dire team pick.
Even with that being said, I still just don't know if it's like first phase ban worthy unless there's something that you don't want him interfering with specifically. Snapfire would definitely be on that list with Visage coming up again. It is absolutely, you want a spoiler, it's going to be no surprise if you see Visage picked literally every time it's available first phase on PMA.
Oh, classic. It's good, what can I tell you?
I know you shouldn't speak of the dead or anything like that. I don't just mean speak ill, I mean speak at all.
5 seconds remaining.
But Dusty is to Visage as Tennyson is to Clockwork.
Yeah.
I think you could make a comparison there, and I think it would be rather fair. Which is why I told the Quap Circles to ban it, and they didn't listen to me. And then they said it wasn't a big deal. I just don't understand that.
It's not banned in this game either, so no team gives it the respect it deserves.
I think if you ban it, it's like, if you look at the stats, you can see factually, really. If you ban it out, it is an immediate hit on performance for Dusty, I think, like pretty dramatic. So like I said, it's the same thing with Clockwork. It's like, here's the 4 that Dusty runs really, really, really well. The rest of his 4 lot, it's like he runs an alright Rubik and ... You know what I mean?
Rubik's situational.
Right.
Situationally good in this particular game, I would say, but situational.
I don't like Snapfire against Visage. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's just kind of another stun, right? It's like a super easy stun you can get off anytime.
Right. And Snapfire can't do anything about the birds, really.
Birds aren't real, so they're not concerned.
It's true. Otto looking all over Princess, just getting rid of a lot of the Princess classics. Meanwhile, PMA spreading out...
Moon River, maybe. I don't know.
Meanwhile, PMA spreading out their bans a little bit more through the roster. See, 1 ban on Medusa, that's probably for Otto. 1 ban on Sniper, again probably for Otto. The Centaur War Otter, definitely on Big Boy LaCroix. Notably, not getting much respect in this particular ban phase. We haven't seen that much of Birds Are Real. Actually going to see a little bit more because we have a game in their backlog to do that nobody actually ended up doing. We thought they did, but they didn't. We're going to see a little bit more of them. We haven't seen that much out of the BAR catalog, but it seems like Big Boy LaCroix hasn't been having that great of a season. I do gotta say, I wonder if the return to form, because we got a stand in this game, and it's a particularly notable stand-in, because standing in over Pause 4 is S-Culture 3, who stood in with Big Boy LaCroix to great success in Season 12. So I do wonder if maybe this game he's gonna have something there. Will be interesting.
Radiant team pick.
Tide Hunter. Well, yeah, if you want a really good offlane, just like a really good out-of-a-box offlane combo, Snapfire Tidaner is a really good one.
Yep. Classic.
I would say if you're generico offlanes right now, that might be the best one as far as like a
10
classic style
seconds
offlane goes. I know most people are just kind of running it now as a bootleg safe lane, but
5 seconds remaining.
as far as like a classic style offlane goes, I think that's probably one of your strongest
Nice,
combos
though.
realistically.
Nice. This is Sparta reunion today.
Yeah, it really is. We got Beatus, Big Boy, and S Culture. I know actually I was following this. Funnily enough, S Culture 3 almost missed this game, but he got like declined by another team for some reason.
Very
So he
sad.
ended up here on the Sparta reunion. Sand King coming up.
Okay. Blackacre Sand King. I think if you put Sand King on a guy, he's good enough
10 seconds
at using it. It kind of is
5
still
seconds
okay.
remaining.
It's not as
Brandy.
uncounterable. It's not Blackacre, I know.
Yeah, Blackacre is on the Iceman team. That would be Healy's. Healy's Sand King.
That's a kind of a slip of the tongue there.
I think this is an okay game for Sand King. The biggest issue he's going to have is that so far there's no formation. And the same exact thing goes for Void Spirit. Like, on one hand, there's going to be a lot of damage done if you can get a lot of people in your nonsense, but so far it's not really looking like that opportunity is going to be there.
Right.
And in particular, you also have the Bane, which kind of sticks out with this strategy. He isn't really going to have anything to offer if you're going for the 5 seconds of fun type gameplay.
I'm looking at this baby Schlark match with Sparta on the side. That's why I said Blackacre.
Right.
Anyway, if you put Sand King on a guy who knows how to play Sand King, it can still be good. It's just not uncounterable anymore.
Right. I think the biggest thing is that the Sand King lane phase got really hurt in the last update. It is
Yes,
a lot
true.
harder to just sit on people with your Sandstorm now. You really have to put more into that.
Maybe against Naga, who has a deceptively good lane phase, it might be a little troublesome, but we'll see.
And again, there's just kind of another hero that they don't really want to see on that PMA lineup, because it's just another hero who's not going to be in anything resembling a formation. It's like, you know, you're going to be in a situation where, you know, you got Sand King, and hey, the Sand King ult is great. The Void Spirit silence and, you know, AoE damage and all that is great. But you're going to be using all that basically every time on a maximum of 2 people, I think.
Both have 3 stuns against grip,
10 seconds
4
remaining.
cancels
Yep.
against grip, if you cancel, if you count that.
5
And
seconds
one more
remaining.
skill you don't want to see while you're gripping, because if you're gripping and Snapfire ults, you're dead.
Yeah.
Radiant team pick.
So it's a very good anti-Bane team in general.
Yeah, it is.
Interestingly, they banned out the Spirit, so...
Because you can't grip Tide.
Banned out the
and
Empress.
Sports you don't want to grip,
10
and
seconds
Naga
remaining.
you can grip, but you'll get stunned. Likely.
5 seconds
Need like a
remaining.
Glimmer Cape and hope Otto is incurring detection.
Speaking of Otto, I don't believe he's been picked for yet. So I believe
No.
it's mid-last, one last on PMA. No surprise there, it's a very one-based team.
It's named after the one, so
It's true. Also not named after a conspiracy.
that's true.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I hope next season we get better theme names for teams.
Maybe I wouldn't bet on it though.
Seems like season 12, season 11, season 10 had some pretty solid name themes going on. Like season 11 you had the books, that was cool. Season 12 obviously you had the music. Season 13, the conspiracies, I think they were ultimately just a little too hard to actually name teams around. Which is probably why 2 different teams didn't do it and another team just took like the worst name in LD2L history.
They've done movies, dude.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it hit
yeah.
all the pop culture stops there.
There you go, season 14, we do movies. Excellent. Yeah, the four pillars of pop culture: books, music, movies, and conspiracy
Conspiracy
theories.
theories, yeah. There you go.
Dire team pick.
Okay, what do we got?
Sven.
Sven, huh?
Another guy's kind
Okay,
of
kind
coming
of-
back in the meta.
Kind
like
of
the
coming
Sven.
back, yeah. I'm not sure he's better than he was before. Maybe
Yeah, I
he
think
is,
it's
but
in the Dragon Knight spot for Sven, where it's like he's not really better than he was when he had like a 45% win rate. It's just that better people have him as a comfort pick, and they're coming back to him to a degree.
they're like starting to kind of pick him to try to see if he's playable, yeah.
Right. And getting some success out of it. I mean, you always see a win rate spike when better people start playing a hero.
Yeah.
It's like a feed system because, you know, really good Sven players start picking Sven, and then good Sven pickers, just straight period good Sven pickers, start picking him again. So even when the hero is somewhat weak, you know, you have a win rate spike from just returning to form. I think that's like what we're seeing with Dragon Knight, for
I
example.
think it's settled on about 46, 47 still, so
Right.
well, not statistically good, but I don't know. Maybe good against Naga? Not sure.
I think he's got some decent offering against Naga, especially, you know, if and I mean he is going to get a fairly early BKB.
Yep.
If he's good with the timing on that, you're gonna really punish the Naga Surge.
Okay, that's
And I think he can also punish the Shadow Fiend fairly well. That's an interesting pick. I think the Shadow Fiend pick here might almost be a prelude to disaster, at least if it's like a traditional Shadow Fiend pick, because I think that's everything PMA wants to see. It's a guy who's going to get pretty much annihilated by anyone on the lineup that you can definitely safely drop some teamfight ults on and not feel bad about it, and who's going to
Yep.
be likely hanging out with Naga in the thick of things. So I don't know. That Shadow Fiend pick, it's a bit interesting here. I don't know if that was the best pick in the world. See how it comes out. You know, it's all about execution. It's all about
So
execution.
Otto has been going Razorless Shadow Fiend, so that could
Right.
maybe explain it a little more.
Yeah. If he's just doing the right click only Glass Cannon Shadow Fiend, I do still think you have the problem. It's just replace you know, Naga Siren with like VS or Snapfire depending on the fight. I think he's still going to have a problem of there's a lot he's going to be able to just reach out and crush him without him being able to do anything about it, especially when Sven gets the stupid like ride on your stun thing and can just completely dodge everything he has and get right in his face. That's going to suck a lot. It's going to suck a lot to be Shadow Fiend. I don't think there's a point in the game where you survive after the Sven stun as Shadow Fiend. Like you're pretty much once you get that BKB down to that low level, it's you got 6 seconds to live in any given fight, and then once that's over, you're dead.
Yeah, he just straight up needs like Masked Treads BKB.
Prepare for battle.
Right. Needs Mass Treads BKB, needs to be really conservative with how he actually uses it, because he cannot fight without BKB up in this game. Like, he can't even pretend to fight without BKB in this game. Or else the first thing that's going to happen is he's going to get stunned, or he's going to get swapped, and then, you know, any choice of stuns, and then he's just going to die instantly in the wake of Sven, who is going to pop ult for him, and should pop ult for him, frankly. He has that to worry about. Even if he is BKB'd, he can still be put out of position pretty easily. He still has to deal with Sven just going man mode, right clicking him if he's already in his face, which would be bad. Would be very bad for.
Also,
for Shadow.
need a halberd on your
30
tide, maybe.
seconds to battle.
I think maybe Halberd on your tide. I would maybe even go so far as to say maybe also just need a Hurricane Pike on yourself just to get him out of your goddamn face, basically.
Yep.
He's gonna need a lot more defense on this lineup. Like, I think you also just need a Lotus Orb for him. I think, in general, I would say,
The battle begins.
yeah, he's gonna need a lot more defense this game than Shadow Fiend, especially in this configuration, ever wants to buy. This is awkward. Everybody invaded the other side's rune spot looking for first blood, and nobody got it.
Pretty funny. According to Tide. I think it was rather funny.
Good news, my OBS's priority is still where it should be. S Culture still has his Sparta markings.
Oh, this is a
Alright.
reunion. That's only fitting.
Though it seems like he's playing pause 5 today. I don't think I would have done that. I think I would have sent new ops to the safe lane and sent a Sculpture with Big Boy. Anyway, as we're watching Big Boy LaCroix get the crap eaten out of him, this seems like a good time to go down the, oh, bang, getting stunned here. Seems like a good time to go down the roll call, right? Pause 1 for PMA. On the Sven, namesake of the team and captain of the team. We got Princess. Pause 2, we got Moon River on the Void Spirit. Pause 3, we've got Heelys on the Sand King. Pause 4, Dusty on Visage. And pause 5, we've got Birth Stream on the Bane. For Birds Aren't Real, BAR. Pause 1, G-Ras / the Beatus on the Naga Siren. Pause 2, captain of the team, currently getting a little bit beat up here by Void Spirit. We've got Shadow Fiend being played by Otto von Bismarck.
Yep.
Pause 3, Big Box LaCroix, Big Boy LaCroix, Big Boix LaCroix, any way you want to slice it. He's playing Tidehunter. Pause 4, we got new Obs who cast with us in week 6 on the Vengeful Spirit. It's a very interesting game as he was calling a game with a guy like Matt who is on the other team. So that's definitely an interesting video if you haven't seen that one. And finally, pause 5, we've got S Culture 3 standing in for Bananigans on the Snapfire.
Yep.
A very last-minute stand-in they got. I think it's ultimately good for them. I think any stand-in that you get that's going to have history with your own team like this, you definitely have an advantage. Because let's just be frank, Culture has played with 3 of these guys. He's played with not 3 of these guys. He's played with 2 of these guys. He's played with Beatus and he's played with Big Boy LaCroix.
Yep.
So I guess if nothing else, at the very least, even if he's landing with Beatus, at least there's like some sense in that. You know, it's still somebody he has been with before. Though I still would have sent him with Big Boy, I think. Just had better results out of that in Season 12. Man, this Centaur really messed up this wave.
Wasn't a fan of your classic Snap Tide armor reduction, so is that. Although Snap doesn't level E.
Not only does Snap not level.
Oh, it doesn't level E in lane, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think you do if you're in lane with somebody who gets use out of it. I don't understand why a lot of people don't, to be honest with you. Because all you need is
also has armor reduction. It hits me, so is that.
All you need is 1 level. Yeah, you're not getting the classic Snap Tide lane because we're getting a classic Snap VS or we're getting classic Tide VS. And
Actually, all of these people have armor reduction. Oh
Yeah,
my
sure.
god, literally 5 armor reduction heroes.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh my lord.
But
how did I not notice it?
again, I do think once again, a big issue. Because there's enough issues with the PMA draft this game, I think. Huh? Wow, that actually went somewhere? I looked away, I thought it was over.
And then,
My path leads to riches.
Oh, okay, there was
that's
just
fun.
1 more stun out on the VS. Okay, that explains it.
Big
Anyway,
Boy LaCroix draws first blood twice.
yep. Time to feed. But yeah, I think there's enough deficiencies on the PMA lineup that you could almost look away from the strengths of VAR pretty easily. I do think the Shadow Fiend, even with the armor reduction, still is not going to have the most fun time unless things go really well for him. So far, lane's going at least okay for him. You know, neither mid is really competing with each other at this juncture, I feel like, outside of just the most, you know... Yeah, the occasional whap at the other guy that you just have to take. Outside of just occasionally snaking the other dude, they're just pretty much just both free farming and not paying attention to the other guy. One interesting thing is that so far, Beatus is having a hard time keeping up with the Sand King in this lane. I think this is an advantage you get if you swap out these lanes. I think a VS plus Naga Siren is definitely gonna have a lot easier time laning against Sand King than the Snapfire is. Snapfire is gonna have the upside when they hit 6, but you know that's a while away. I also like the funny combat music because Sand King was hitting some Naga illusions.
Yeah, classic. Thank you, Valve.
Finn hiding out here. Waiting for the wave to pop up. What? Wait a minute, what the hell is a...
You got ulted.
This is full health! Wow.
My god, okay. That's
I think that
yeah.
I think that speaks to how deceptively squishy Void Spirit is more than anything else. Huh? Sometimes it's easy to forget.
Full necro plus full spirits SF.
I don't think that one shots most mids. Outside of like
not.
maybe
Lena or something, or
yeah,
one
Lena,
shot.
maybe Storm, definitely not like Ember. Maybe Quap. I don't think Quap lets that happen to her. In fairness, I don't think Void Spirit lets it happen to her, but you know. Well, that's
I don't think he
Jesus.
expected to get one shot.
I'm not expecting any of these kills. These are some really wacky kills up here. Probably not, no.
Okay, they ran out. And
Yep.
another spell doing insane amounts of damage, and maybe not expected to.
Likely. I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to predict these sorts of encounters. I'll say this much. Boots' speed dropped here. I'll say this much. The Shadow Fiend getting a kill there is only good news for him. Like, turns this otherwise nothing happening mid into I'd say an edge victory for him. Like, it's not like a massive well, he did actually get a full level off that, so he was able to jettison that into more of an advantage. So there is
Maybe dissuades Moon River from making. I guess would dissuade if it was anyone but Moon River.
right.
It's all on the aggressive
that
all the time.
ain't great for Moon River. He basically just lost 2 lives in a row in no uncertain terms. I mean, he is able to get his health back on the rune here, but it is a very long voyage to turn that around. Action happening in Avery Lane to some degree. Healy's very low here, actually. Like, the longer this lane has gone on, the more I'm just thinking that the lanes they ended up with, or just Backwardsville. Like, the longer these side lanes have gone on, the more I've just kind of felt like it probably would have just been better off to have VS5 Snap 4. Both from that...
Trading places there.
Both from the, like I said, the chemistry idea from having Big Boy lane with the guy he laned with last season, Red Best Culture, and partially because Snapfire in this top lane is just simply not working. Every time Snap shows her face, she basically just gets eaten.
That's nuke, yeah. 2 big high damage nuke heroes.
Without a reliable stun, I mean, you have a stun on Snapfire, don't get me wrong, we gotta have to really get the most use out of it. And by the way, Dusty, who gets tipped right back. I don't know if I'm tipping somebody for being the pause 4 that is the only death in the first rotation from mid. Like, I feel like it's like probably the smallest possible achievement you could have in a mid rotation. Even if you get the pause 5 at least. Even if you get the pause 5, at least you're putting the pause 1 into a very defensive bad position for a while. Like, I kill the pause 4, the pause 3 is like, okay, half the time. Just don't even care.
That's exact.
And you can see here, I mean, didn't really buy Naga Siren any space. If anything, the pause 5 being out this long, because I believe S-Culture, had to take the Walk of Shade back to the slate and died right after TPing, means that ultimately it really didn't do anything for this lane, unfortunately.
Denied.
Naga can flush for him fast enough.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you still just don't want to be goofing like that, you know. The better your play can be, the better you're going to do. So, look not at we can get around this, and look at in this case because these
Well, you
games are
have
already
to look
over.
at we can get around it.
Well, not in the context of viewing a replay. The
True.
game's already
Now if
over.
you have- now if you
Look
have
at it in
hindsight,
the context of let's not do that next time.
He's gonna
Radiant's
Father
middle
Step.
Dust it
tower
up
is
here,
under
but
attack.
Naga was not expecting that and walked away. Feels like there's some comm line
it's not
issues
that Naira
going on.
wasn't expecting necessarily, it's that she didn't have illusions up, so like, what can you do? Her melee
She
creep?
did though. She had them walking around it actually. It's just the actual Naga herself wasn't there to provide some damage.
I didn't think she did. I thought it was on CD and it got nuked or something.
Nope. Shadow Fiender's gonna smash this tower to bits here. Rotation coming in. Dusty wants a little bit of revenge.
Okay.
Get some of it, but they just can't argue with that DD.
Yeah.
Dire's
That
top
is
tower
very
under
unfortunately timed in there. I think if there's no DD, then Shadow Fiend is just dead.
So,
Just simply dead. So, I think it's anything else even. Like if it's like even Regen or Illusions or something, Shadow Fiend is still just gonna die. Obviously, Arcane, since it really doesn't give him anything at this juncture. I'll tell you this much, I did not expect a pretty clean win from Shadow Fiend at this particular mid. Just doesn't, I mean, I guess the issue is it's like, Void Spirit's not a mid win in mid.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Didn't really have any ability to, it felt like,
the
to
lead
actually
big
seal
boy
the
at
deal.
least. And is
So,
also
yeah.
the lead.
This is what Void Spirit does, so you know. Otto is going to be looking for kills himself, but he ain't going to find any.
Yeah, I'll just play in this lane probably.
Get tipped.
I mean, killed the tower, so. Why stay mid?
He's going to lose about half of his health. Make that 2/3 of his health on the birds. Gets the ult off, but this time it is a lot less damage.
Defensive ult.
And there he goes.
Well, he killed Healy's, so there's that.
Yeah, we got the revenge kill, but Healy's technically got the first blow, so he got the XP and all that. And I would imagine did end up getting actually less money. Otto got more in total, interestingly enough. Not as much as the two teammates combined, but that doesn't really mean much. It is Visage.
Radiant's bottom tower
Still,
is under attack.
gets the XP at least, and that's gonna get him a lot closer to
Radiant
Otto's
structures
standards.
are
Also gonna put him firmly past Naga
Radiant's
Siren,
bottom
who
tower
spent a
is
lot of
under
that lane solo, so that's actually a pretty big boon. And over here, bot looking for more kills.
Yeah. He's taking this bot lane for himself.
Got himself a couple of moles.
Elsewhere on the map, in the safest farming locations.
New Obs is just going to die.
Yeah.
No two ways about it. Big Warrior Cry actually very low mana here.
Kind of
Well, they're not
wasted
gonna
the
pursue
second
that.
jump there on a target that was already dead, or else he maybe
Right.
could have gone for Big Boy, but it's life.
Yep, Tidehunter. I mean, I don't think Tidehunter dies in any case in this situation, basically. But they can at least rout him, and instead of just kind of having him walk away and just beat some crap up. I think he needs to get some regen in. This Soul Ring is not a sufficient option when it comes to maintaining your mana pool. Needs to get some clarities or something, but he is still fine. Fine and dandy. Sand King trying to get a push going on this tower here,
Radiant's
basically.
courier
Just
has
trying
been
to
killed.
hijack waves, trying
All of his
to...
camps were taken. Unfortunate. Auto showed out.
Yep.
Radiant's
I believe we
Pretty
missed
simple.
is under attack.
Every
11
kill
out
so
of
far,
12
yeah,
kills. Yeah.
basically.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Hey, we're gonna get this one at least.
And a cameraman.
Ravage comes out. That doesn't really.
It's a very
accomplish
forward
anything.
Ravage.
Yes, it's even more forward to know he's actually here.
Oh, he's stunned.
Oh no!
Okay. That's super big, Raheeli's.
Oh man, the timing of that that Kraken shield. I thought, what? I
These
thought,
ults are so casual.
yeah.
They're just ulting each other.
I
Good
thought
burrow strike.
that Visage was
It's
super
a
dead.
really good burrow strike. But
Princess is here.
oh no, Moon's here.
Princess
They're
gets
all
to
here.
watch 2 kills happen.
Unfortunate.
Get any money for that? Nope, actually that's probably the most unfortunate thing. Princess got no money for that. I think he gets XP, but Sven did not really get anything valuable out of coming here except the tower, and he didn't even get the last hit on it. Bit unfortunate, but I would not imagine he's too sad
Yeah,
about
but-
seeing Otto just kind of
yeah.
take a very casual path. Notably, of course, Beatus was not found there. If you take a look at the net worth chart, you can really see. You look at the last hit chart. Okay, he is taking back the advantage here now. For a long time, Shadow Fiend was leading by a pretty considerable margin on that
Dire's
last
middle
hit chart,
tower
but
is under attack.
Moon River, from largely kills, has started to take over on the net worth chart. Has one more kill, one less spill. That's always good news.
Just
I think,
popping off in these ends.
I think the big thing is that he's getting more valuable targets as well. Like, I think 2 of Otto's kills are
Dire's
on
middle
Bane,
tower is under attack.
while Moon River's got, you know, Tidehunter under his belt. He's got, you know,
Dire's middle tower
Otto.
has fallen.
so he's got Shadow Fiend on at least one occasion.
That's these birds getting harassed
I
for
think
not being real.
I think that's really the big interesting situation here is that on both teams, for the most part, it is like the fives dying. But the
Yeah, first
interesting
Princess and Giraffe both 0-0-0.
the interesting thing is that on one side you've got the 2 with like the 4-1-1. The other side you have a 3-2-1. Doesn't sound like it's that big of a difference, but the
Yeah,
actual
3-2-1
kills they got.
Penguins.
Yep. Actual kills they've gotten are pretty distinguishing features here.
Dusty gonna exchange business cards with Giraffe there. Not too much else.
Good. Goodbye once again to Bane.
Oh, okay.
Dire are
They can
scared.
get no, nothing happened. I was gonna
Yeah.
say if they can get Sand King, something's happening there, but
Throw
that's
it
such
away.
luck. G-Ras in a very bad spot here. Actually, he's about to die.
Dusty's not close enough, and he
Not
doesn't
even
have
as a
the
stun.
charges on his W. Although Moon River will make that a lot more troublesome.
Guys? Guys. Okay, they just ran past it. Not sure why. Ooh. Oh, everything in
cost me
the
a bolt here.
world! Everything falls on Sand King! That ain't how you play this game, bro! That wasn't worth it, especially if you all just die now.
Restore the void within.
That is
I don't
not...
have to TP away, so.
That is
at the very
not
least,
something that you
we'll
see
only lose these
often
guys.
go well for Sand King, but okay, so nothing's actually gonna
They all
happen
get
here.
away.
PMA's chase
So
is atrocious. They cannot catch anybody, it feels like, even with a maxed war call, which is not Warcry, which is not great. They definitely need to start thinking about items like Force and Blink Dagger if that's happening to them.
They catch Sand King, but they can't be too happy about it because they lost their Naga. And now they're all gonna die.
You were placed on my path.
Yep. Did
It's a 300 gold goal.
did what the boys in the business would call sticking around and finding out. Overcommitted to this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Moon River decides the same. Leaves.
Shadow Fiend just picked up the BKB there, so now he does have some capability to
Dire's
actually
top
keep a
tower
fight
is
going.
under attack.
For now, anyway. Like I said, I do think he is going to
Giraffe.
be suffering. Yep. Another nasty position here. It's just going to sing.
They want to fight with this song, it looks like.
They better not fight, because look what just popped up on the kill feed!
Now Otto got found by Moon River.
Yep. Very casually picked there. For,
Okay, big message.
we're stunned by the bird. Moon and, Void Spirit and Bane
Oh,
are here.
God. Moon River is just handling these guys.
Immediately knocking out the Snapfire. Immediately knocking out the VS. Tidehunter is not looking very happy.
This Void Spirit really needs to die. Like, he's having a Moon River classic performance, or he's gonna end this game like 30-2 or something.
Right. The lane phase went disastrously for him, but he followed that up into a very solid turnaround here in the mid game. It's definitely, I mean, it's like I said, that's exactly what you want to have happen to you if you're Void Spirit. This is exactly the Void Spirit game that you're going to have. Like, even if the lane doesn't go great for you, you're not a lane-winning guy. Turning around the mid game, and he's certainly done that so far.
Running up, looking for someone in the jungle here.
Looking for absolutely nobody. They're going to go to Roche instead.
Roche.
Let's see, he's finished up with Vlad, which are going to help this Roche probably quite considerably.
Solid play reference. This he pops the ult and kind of looks for whatever he can get before the Roche. You know, if he'd run into somebody, that's a free kill.
Right. And since nobody was there, it's a free Roche.
Yeah.
So,
big boy. That's a Ravage.
Walk right in. He formally kills Roche. Moon River technically snatching Aegis. Otto von Bismarck loses all of his health before he ults. He can't, before he even BKBs, he can't do anything. He just dies casually, but so does Princess.
The Visage and Sanking are so value in that fight. And of course, Moon River just deleting people as well, but
losing Princess was really bad, but if they get G-Wrath, it's gonna make up for it.
okay.
He has ult.
Good bro. Does have ult, but he wants to fight it
But he
out.
ain't gonna get the ult. Yep, ain't gonna get the ult if Moon River reveals Ags on him. That is bad. Yep. There is no two ways about that. That is bad. Losing Sven was not a good thing. It would be a lot better of a fight if they didn't lose Sven, but Jesus, this Void Spirit is starting to look pretty untouchable.
And of course, they use Ravage, SF ult, all these things, and just die all twice for it.
Yep. It is starting to become this almost tragic situation where it's like, it doesn't really matter that they're never getting big team fights ults off because Moon River is just winning long strings of 1v1s and nobody's doing anything to him.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh no. Again.
Well, that certainly isn't good. Can you call that anything but out of position? I mean, that's just not great. Gets to Visage.
Ease.
Yeah. 10-1 and 9 at this juncture. Died once in lane phase, and he took that personal.
Whisper looks really good into Naga in this game. I'm not sure if it's this game or if it's just an awful matchup for Naga. But it is looking really rough.
Well, this ain't exactly. Oh, well, no, never mind. Cancel that. This is kind of what you want to have happen.
Out of mana.
Yeah. Moon River had mana. That was definitely a kill on Shadow Fiend, but.
Dire's middle tower.
PMA, I think, has been, for the most part, just kind of playing this the right way. Surprised to see that Quicksilver on the ground in here. Playing this the right way. The big thing is like,
bottom tower is under attack.
every single... Get that Quicksilver on Sven, it's way better than Dragon Scale, promise. Anyway, the big thing is they have not been leaving for one moment, they have not been leaving the Corvus unattended. They have not been able to farm basically at all. Which is bad for Beatus because that's really what Beatus wants to do, especially on a hero like Naga Siren. But that's his play style in general on one. Beatus likes to get a lot, just, you know, he's one of those go into the jungle, come out at 70 minutes type guys. But this is a game where it's feeling like he's never going to come out, if that makes sense. Ben,
Yeah, Fury's.
pop it
Oh
all.
no, Princess. Good Ravage.
Yeah, very good Ravage. Princess does not actually have BKB yet,
Dire's bottom tower
so he's out of this fight. Ember Spirit's finally,
Aegis
not Ember Spirit, Void Spirit finally lost Aegis here. I'm gonna try and reset the fight here.
Okay.
The 1-inch VS swap, yep.
Yeah.
Not really sure what that was about. Whenever
Oh,
we're just
man.
going to
Whatever.
murder everybody on the behind
Yeah,
the lines
just-
here. Unfortunately, Visage
very
just
casually
Visage
Leading
just
everybody.
popped an illusion there, but popped another one.
Die.
Visage just got 2 subsequent illusions and no Naga Siren. That is very bad.
Unfortunate.
That is ludicrously over-optimistic on Visage's part. Just kill the thing that looks like it's the squishiest and hope it's the real Naga. Ouch. That is actually pretty bad. That's a lot of money that just fell into Naga and Tide's pockets. She went up a position on that farm chart.
It's bad, but Princess didn't pay in any way for that. And
That's
it's
true, but
Pretty
Princess
well ahead of the Naga.
has paid pretty fair amount of dues so far.
Well, so is Naga.
True. But I don't think Finn's gotten a paid day quite like this so far in the game. At the end of the day, this team is really riding on this one fellow right now. I mentioned before, you know, the deficiencies of this team comp are still here. If Moon River can't just basically kill everybody, then you still have the issue of you have a team that's made to compete with a different team. You have a team comp.
Julius here.
Yep, just gonna kind of bully him out here. You have a team comp of small AoE team fight guys that are not gonna be in small AoEs. Team fighting. You got a bunch of guys who pick on dudes in type formations who are never gonna be in type formations. And you got Healy's
Burrow?
looking for the best possible burrow he's got, but
Oh my god, Princess!
Orc's going down. And Princess does get the Shadow Fiend, but immediately dying for it.
Oh,
Once again,
Ravage.
looking to reset the fright.
Oh no.
That
Yeah, that
ain't
guy's
good.
dead. Princess gave his life for this fight to go this way, and I think it actually worked out pretty well for him. He gets a lot more money than he loses, and, you know, they take 5.
Ouch.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And Moon River still looks super unkillable unless he messes up.
Again, the biggest downside there is that you still just don't really have anything from Sven.
Well, you did in that
Like-
fight, you deleted everybody.
Yeah, but look how much you got for it. That does not mean much at this juncture, especially when you're taking a death in the process.
I don't think getting people necessarily matters that much when you can already delete people.
I think getting
It's,
money matters
kills-
when you
kills 3
at
in
some
that fight, and, you know, Naga's kind of still
It- it-
underfarmed.
it
Still as
basically-
underfarmed as she was before that happened.
basically comes down to this. Sven's gonna need more gold than this if the Moon River starts falling off.
Like, if
Naga's-
Naga didn't die in that fight, I think I would agree with you, but... he
Basically, it
did.
comes down to this. Naga is not as it is not as incredibly important for Naga to get money because like if Moon River falls off, they can still go behind Shadow Fiend for a while. No matter what happens, Shadow Fiend is going to be a scary right-click command. But
Okay.
nice. On the other hand,
Force the guy away.
on the other hand, if Moon River starts to fall off, right, Sven most definitively needs money in that scenario. If he's not like pretty hard out scaling, he's not gonna beat the combined Naga and Shadow Fiend.
SF BKB was forced. They want to fight now. Like they really want to fight now. They will indeed. They will delete the Naga.
That ain't again. Are they just gonna walk away from another jungle item? What's wrong with these guys? PMA, look on the ground, please. I know you're winning, but Christ, gonna make me tear my hair out. That's a Titan Sliver. You don't want a free Titan Sliver? You don't want to deny them of a Titan Sliver?
I would like to upload with the Roche. A perfect
Somebody
world.
might have denied them
That's
of
why
a
they're
Titan
kind of.
Sliver.
That's why they're kind of sitting back here.
No, they did end up getting it.
Yeah, they probably sent a courier, I guess.
Shanking just gonna get battered up here.
And every time you see the Sand King, he's getting dust thrown on his head.
Yeah, Sand King, you cannot say he's having a particularly landmark game so far. He's
He's
doing well
he's
for
the Witch
himself
Bane.
money, but
Easy game with the Witch Bane.
on who?
Sand King. Just purge the dust, dude.
Yeah.
So they're gonna
I
get
mean, it
this
just kind of
Roche.
comes back to the issue I mentioned at the beginning. We're just not in the right formation for Sand King to be of any value.
I don't think I would be surprised if they gave this one to Princess, but Moon River might still take it.
I mean, they should definitely give it to Princess, yeah. Moon River is not dying in these fights. Princess is dying pretty much every time, it feels like. And, second burst, same as the first.
Oh no!
Except this time it's going a lot worse for them. It's gonna go down. Big Boiler Croy takes the Aegis last
Song of the
second.
Siren.
Sculpture? That doesn't do anything with her. Alright, yeah, that was a... That would have been a lot better for them if A, somebody more important got the Aegis, or B, they got any kills in doing that. They did drop a lot just to deny Aegis.
Yep.
Shit, it's not gonna be worth it if they lose some guys on the retreat here, especially if they just casually lose Otto on the retreat.
They're not gonna lose
Okay.
Otto. Okay, they might if Healy's is insane.
Yeah, they're gonna lose
Oh
Otto.
boy. Yeah, okay, so Healy's made it happen. And they're gonna lose that Aegis they spent so much on.
Yep. Otto puts out an ult, which gets Bane. That's good. And gets Fen, which is better.
Radiant's bottom tower is
You
under
did have to
attack.
buy for that, but...
Yeah, kind of unfortunate
Nasty
that
route.
Otto had to buy back. That kind of leaves Otto team in a pretty bad spot. Like if SF dies, they just lose Rex for free.
Right. On the other hand, nobody on PMA has to buy, which means they're going to definitely get some free objectives here.
Yep.
If nothing else, Auto signaling to go get the goddamn outpost. Actually, all their ways are in really bad spots. Two of them are on their side of the river, so that ain't good.
That could
All the
definitely
mold
be
is stuffed.
the foundation for a comeback, but I don't think we're quite there yet.
Right. I mean, if there's one thing that fight exposed, Finn needs this BKB yesterday. Definitely put it off too long. I think if Finn has BKB earlier, then he takes like 4 less deaths and gets 0 less kills.
Yeah, I mean, he gets feared there. It's pretty much the entire reason he dies.
Yep.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I'm gonna go whole hog here, just going right for the T3.
Full threat.
While
Well,
VS
back
just
line,
gets
but
picked
what's
in the
the-
back line.
Is under attack.
Void Spirit back there. They are gonna lose a T3. They are gonna lose a melee Rex.
Radiant's
range
middle
Rex.
barracks are under attack.
Melee
No,
Rex
they're-
gets...
Moon River's cutting right now.
What is
This is a
this?
song for retreat.
Some retreat.
Recoming.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The retreat did work out on the side of Big Boy. This was
Yeah, no, I think that hurts.
Naga and
I
Otto
think that
survive.
only justifies Otto and Naga are gonna survive no matter what. There, I think they're just running into nothing.
I'm just telling you what it was for,
Radiant's
not
top
Yeah.
tower
that
is
it should
under
have happened.
attack.
Me charging right up mid in response. I don't know if I agree with this course of action necessarily.
I mean, they don't have a tide. So Ravage is one of the things that's been kind of ruining their fights the entire game. And if you're guaranteed not to have it side for 15 more seconds, then, you know, go ahead.
Well, you think is, you know, buyback.
You would have bought back already. Okay, he does have it.
Yeah, he does
Kind
have
of
it. He
used
just,
it late.
yeah.
Unfortunate.
I think he wanted them to extend there, but where's the ult?
I
But
can tell you
where's the
where
ult?
an
There
ult
we
is.
go.
It's a
Okay.
grip on the auto. And he's gonna die.
Yep.
That was such a good grip.
Well, what's a nice way to say they totally bungled that fight on BAR's part?
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Oh dear, that was just everything
The
that could
late
possibly
buyback
go wrong.
was, the late buyback was the problem.
It would have been better, but he didn't actually get the ult off. Like, they were under T4. If they were like the weight of the fight was around like here, around this Subaru Vern statue. Stay frosty, my friends.
Is under attack.
But he didn't ult when they were there. He ulted when
my
they had already
lord.
retreated, and now they're just gonna get
The
found.
beauty.
I had no reason.
Dire's
Also, the
top
grip was
is under
super big.
Right.
Just kind of disabled Otto throughout the entire fight and eventually killed him through buyback.
Yep. Straight die there. First stream is just gonna be fearless over here.
They're taking a little. Okay, never mind. Sven's angry.
Goodbye, Naga. I'm gonna buy it back, but it's hard to see what the hell she's gonna do without ult or anything. Just watch Rax die.
We're gonna walk up to Big Boy. Gonna click.
Damn it! Why is the statue called that?
Why not? Pretty fitting right now.
Yeah, that's like what I'm feeling like. That's what this entire Tidehunter match is feeling like. It's even got almost the same set. Like, this is just a very accurate representation, but we'll talk about that more in the post game. Void Spirit has Dagon 3.
Not dagging. Nice.
There's the A-Blade on, boy. Is that Witchbane you're talking about?
Yeah, that's Zakaya. So
Right on the Sand King lineup. You should probably take that. But he's sticking on the spider legs for now.
I don't think dust necessarily matters anymore. Like you
They're still
have
killing.
2 sets of Rex.
Yeah, I mean, on
you're
one
gonna be
hand,
playing in base.
They are still killing him specifically. Basically, he is like the one mortal core they have. If he can establish immortality for himself, they'd have literally nothing to fear.
True. But he does have BKB now.
I mean, Sven's also still mortal. Okay, never mind. Sven got big AB. He's no longer
I'll take
mortal.
your tribute.
Cancel that.
Spell Prism for Void Spirit.
Dire are scanning.
Illusion.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Titan Silver and Bane is actually pretty smart. Kind of,
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
you know, if you get Ravage for less time, then you can maybe get a grip off sooner.
Dire's bottom tower
He's most
is
certainly
under
not
attack.
going to be like picking up a BKB anytime soon. So maybe Sanj and Gaia. Trickster Cloak. Actually mean a little something there. 20% evasion. You know, you look at the Trickster Cloak a lot of the times, you know, some people boil it down to the, you know, it's the crappy little Shadow Blade. No, it's 20% evasion. That's really the important thing about it, I would
Magic
say.
resist.
Magic Resist too is also pretty big, but like, the 20% evasion is not something you can get very easily. You know,
Radiant's
most
top
of the
tower
bigger
is under
evasion items are
attack.
very expensive, so they're just
Yeah.
getting one for free. Very nice. Whereas a lot of the meta community, like Magic Resist items, are pretty cheap, so you should be at least doing okay for that. You know, it's a need. It's where the need is filled.
Oh, Princess is coming in from the back.
Yep.
Forces Tide out of the fight immediately. Oh, the BKBs.
Yeah, the BKB
Healy's playing the destruction game.
completely ruined this for them.
Okay, now Moonriver's gonna kill everybody.
Yep. Here goes Naga again. That's a dieback on Naga.
Yeah.
That's dieback on Tidehunter as well. They get Heelys.
And I got Princess, so what's that?
Dire's bottom
Gonna
barracks is
basically waste the Shadow Fiend ult and kill him too.
I
Just
cannot
pretty
say it matters that much, however, that they got Princess.
Right.
They lost the world to get him.
Yeah, Otto's team is now officially in the state where if he personally dies one more time, it is absolutely without a shadow of a doubt game over. Shadow of a doubt, get it? Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, without a sand of a doubt.
They are charging right for him too. Uh oh, he is right under a sentry.
No. Wait out the BKB. And he's dead.
Yep. BKB is gone, silence comes out, and zap. There's that E-Blade. Wolf's trying to get the revenge done, but no such luck. Goodbye.
Dire's bottom
And Otto calls it GG, and that's the ball game. Well,
The value sentry right there, whoever planted
Yeah.
that, MVP.
well,
Radiant victory.
how do I put this delicately? I think this is a pileup of small issues for the Otto team. I think there isn't like there isn't anything in this game that I think you can point to and say that's the deciding factor. This is why they lost. I think like a million small things went wrong for them this game. I think the Shadow Fiend pick was just no good. Just not what they needed. It played into exactly what PMA wanted. It was just a really squishy glass cannon guy who was going to be in the right position for what everybody on their lineup was doing. He really counterpicked himself, to be honest with you. Just not the one you needed. I think if you get a mid with more staying power, or at least if you get one that's not just going to kind of die over and over to the PMA core lineup after lane phase ends, I don't know if there's a realistic path to victory for PMA. Moonriver took off because while Otto was killing supports, Moonriver was killing him.
Yeah, and Tide.
Right. Pretty repeatedly. So, to that end, I do think that is probably the biggest thing. I think the Shadow Fiend pick here just really was the anchor around their neck the entire time. I think you could play around it. I don't think they played around it well. Beatus, I think, was just shown his neck too many times. You know, they just kind of given them a lot of opportunities. And in fairness, it's not all his fault. His team's getting pretty run over, especially in the earlier part of the game. But there was just like a lot of times when it was just like, the enemy team has been seen there recently, he knows he's there, he says, whatever I can sing, and then he gets silenced and dies.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the thought process anyway. The Tide just really did not impress this game. I don't think the Ags was just the way to go this time. I think he really needed a blink. There are just so many occasions where it's like a blink and Ravage would have done way more than anything that the Tidal Wave Gush could have done for him. And, you know, he wasn't even really using it to push out or anything. He couldn't. He was always on deck for fights. And I think that's a big thing. Like, the Ags Rush Tide is good if you're not literally needed in fights 24/7. But PMA was always forcing fights, so he really just couldn't do anything with it. Which is funny, because you'd think, you know, on paper it looks like, oh, that is like a fighting thing. No, it's really not. It doesn't really do that much for you in fights unless you're getting really good hits in. Probably not going to be hitting really more than one objective with it. And sometimes you're going to be missing where the regular Gush would not have. Pushing lanes is great, though. Pushing lanes, it is absolutely fantastic. But, yeah, I think neither the Tidehunter play nor the itemization here really did him any favors. And I think the supports were just laying in the wrong places. I think that was one of the biggest things because, you know, one of the big ways he could have had here is they could have eliminated the offlane here. They could have eliminated the Sand King and Visage, I think, if they had laned it properly. Eliminated that lane, given Naga Siren a much easier time, and really given her the space to mount a comeback. But they didn't. They could have kept Sven just getting repeatedly donked, forced him to be on the defensive. He wasn't. He was just fighting at like 10 minutes this game. Forced Sven
Yeah.
on the defensive, forced him to just stay jungling, forced him to build around that. They don't really have a great team for that, but they didn't. Both of the side lanes ended up losing. Now that didn't really end up mattering all that much, because Sven really did not come online until the game was way decided, and Sand King just, period, never came online. He really never got there. He was pretty much just a bro strike the whole game. But, if you get that space, if you force them to play around the fact that they lost lanes, rather than force them to then let them play around the fact that they won lanes, I think this goes a lot differently. I think there were some funny BKB usages that just didn't need to happen, like Otto using the BKB when he had already just not gotten hit by anything. That was pretty bad, for example. That just lost him a straight fight next up. I mean, like I said, there's a million small things. Oh, the match coordinator is currently being updated.
Nice.
There you go, that's some fantastic time for you. That's like a 1 in a million thing to happen during a recording, but yeah. I don't know. I feel like the Shadow Fiend pick and the way the Shadow Fiend and Tide ended up playing in particular ended up feeding into a match where, I mean, let's just be frank, I think they should win this on paper. I still, even having seen it win, I still just don't think the PMA lineup is that good. It's just, what does that matter when Void Spirit's 26-2? Because, Shadow Fiend won mid, and then Void Spirit won the hell of the mid game, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see what happens next time. And there you go, by the way, if you wanted some definitive proof that PMA is like a real, actual team now. Like I said, I think they went from probably the third worst team to probably the third best team with the shakeup. There you go. We'll see you next time for Game 2, when this damn coordinator update is finished, anyway.